RPGs, man. The only thing where I can say something like that. I did, actually. I've read all of twos, where Zigbar just straight up shoots Attila the Hun in the face. And you watch Sora wince as he gets shot. And it's like, this is a kid's manga. Or the hooker that tries to pick up Sora and then she gets eaten by a Heartless. What the heck was the Kingdom Hearts manga? We went back in time by 5,000 years. This is, I'm assuming it's supposed to be the Lendesria continent. But, judging by just putting context clues together, I'm guessing the major portions of the area we are probably sunk, and that's why the human continent has that huge middle section, is it broke off and sunk. I don't think manga is necessarily an addition we were saying. Is when saying, what the heck is this? Yeah. But let's see. Before I go on with this cutscene. Yeah, no, the Kingdom Hearts manga gets super crazy. Some of the Zelda mangas haven't been translated still. Everything is a trip. Yeah. But even then, you play the Kingdom Hearts games and you're not expecting a character to shoot freaking a Disney character in the face. Like, the manga goes all out in certain portions. But, the Link's Awakening manga is also really good, but that one isn't by the current Zelda manga author and will never be officially released in English. I had to read a fan translation. Tries to murder... Okay, yeah, and the Pokemon Adventures manga is another good example. And that one even has the accolade of being referred to by Satoshi Tajiri as the closest incarnation to his original idea that has ever been, which is wild. And that's just in the first arc, Kay. That's not even looking... I've read the Pokemon Adventures manga up through the start of X and Y. Did somebody say the door to darkness? But, ooh boy. Yeah, the Pokemon one gets wild. I think my favorite arc was honestly Ruby and Sapphire. It gets freaking crazy. But, I got Dragon Quest to read, so... Strange. It's been a long time since I've seen a lot of these places. Yeah, luckily they're pretty easy to get a hold of. I think you can get the entire box sets of each arc on Amazon for like $20 each. Welcome to the Threen Royal Palace. Oof. The place we're standing now is the Royal Palace floating above the Royal Capital. Oh, Sky Lagoon. Black and White had some... Oh, gosh, yeah. Of course, 17 movies, 22 anime seasons, 30 games to catch up on. I mean, if you're talking Pokemon, the thing about the manga is it's completely different continuity. So it's kind of its own beast entirely. Honestly, if anything deserved an anime adaptation, it's probably those manga. But they probably couldn't Children's manga and children's anime are like two different genres of age rating, I swear. But there's a lot of... Yeah, true. Because you can get away, though, with certain things in a manga that you cannot in an anime. I'm about to speak to my father. I have to report to His Majesty Dominius about the restoration of the transfer gate. You know, because the soldiers that already confirmed it worked totally couldn't have done that. Ooh, dude, Yellow was super good. Like, that was an entirely good arc. I think my favorite is still Gold, because I have some serious Gen 2 bias. That, and I love just how much of a turd he is. With my favorite line being Professor Elm telling Professor Oak, Red was rash, but this kid's rash makes Red's rash look like a pimple. Yeah, those are really good. I would like you to accompany me, since you lent me your power at that time. Oh, dude, and everything. Okay, sorry, last little tangent on this. The whole overarching story arc that you get some hints that something's fishy about green all the way, or blue, depending on if you're reading direct translation or official translation. Girl Trainer Gen 1, let's say that. The plot twist that takes all the way till the end, the freaking end of the Crystal arc to resolve. Ooh, it's so good. In books versus TV. Television, yeah, for sure. That's exactly why. You're right. On the Sinnoh remake thing, I mean, I haven't heard anything specific in the last little bit. I know there's been a bunch of rumors out of nowhere again, but I have not looked into them. So I guess I do not have any other thoughts other than it'll happen eventually. I will say, I'd rather they not happen with the way Game Freak is right now, personally. Because it also means instead of like Mega Evolutions, we're going to get Gigantamaxes for the Sinnoh starters, and that sucks. Nice. Did we even get Sun and Moon manga? We did. Though, I don't know if those ones have been translated yet. In fact, thanks. Anyway, I really don't like Gigantamax. It's so dumb. Pukus, whatever they're called, the key emblems left. Game Freak needs to stop chilling. They chilled out so much. So, all right. Again, gotta play Dragon Quest because that's what this stream is. But I'll finish this thought with this. Second half of the story. Basically, what sucks about Game Freak as it is right now is the games are not their main focus at all, and it shows. They do make money, yes, but the thing is, Pokemon makes all of its money, its major money, from its merchandising, its plushies, the cards, the toys, everything else. And unfortunately, you have to release a game at the same time as all of this. So, like, if the game gets delayed for quality control, all of the merchandise gets delayed for quality control. And that can be several thousand, if not $1 million for Game Freak that they'll lose. And even when they do, True Blue, pull off something that's not Pokemon like Town, it's not as good because all of their focus has to go to Pokemon. On top of that, the current director for the Pokemon games, whatever his name is, has intentionally said on many occasions that Pokemon is for everyone, and he wants to make sure that it is as accessible to everybody as humanly possible. And that's great and all, but the problem is if you make it that easy, you lose your old-time fans who aren't there for nothing but competitive play. If I was in the competitive Pokemon scene, I probably wouldn't have an issue like everybody else. But, oh, no, it was super bad. It wasn't good. But I'm not. I play Pokemon to raise Pokemon and just have fun for however many 40 hours it takes me to beat the game, and then I put it down. But, when I'm falling asleep doing that, there may be a problem. I honestly think Pokemon, I don't know, man. Like, it's, on top of that, you can feel that there's a severe lack of soul, if that makes sense. Like, think, since we mentioned the movies earlier, to anyone who's seen the movies, think about even just the soundtrack of the old movies versus the current stuff. It's just not even the same. I felt more real and less patronizing, for sure. As a competitive player, I'm still salty by the Dex cut. It removes so many of my potential choices, the thing that made the scenes so varied. And yes, and I'll give you that. Personally, I didn't care too much about the Dex cut. That was never my problem. Because I did play stuff on the GameCube, like Coliseum and Gale of Darkness, that had a lesser roster anyway. And I wasn't too worried about it, because from my point of view, what makes me mad is the straight up lie. They said they were doing it to increase the animations, and then it was proven that that was not true. The models in Sword and Shield had the exact same poly count as the ones on the DS. So if they were actually doing that, and then we're going to introduce more slowly as it happened, I would not have had an issue. was the fat lie that made me mad. But, and the way I look at it, eventually you'll get to the penultimate Switch game that just has everything. And if that game is of the same quality as Sword and Shield, then we're going to have a freaking war. Grew up over Pikmin, over Pokemon. I'm not the target audience anymore, and the games aren't fun anymore. This is the reason I started playing Dragon Quest. Yeah. And, like, I picked up Sword and Shield on heavy discount. I was not paying full price for that. They buffed the textures, which mostly the 3DS quality was more than... I mean, that's the thing. Buffing a texture is nowhere near as hard as buffing a character model. It's the same reason, if we look at one of the other games I play on stream, while Monster Hunter World had so little... Oh, perfect, Gray, you're still here, because you know a lot about the subject as well. It's the same exact reason why Monster Hunter World had so little of the older monsters, is because for an upscale to that scale from the 3DS to a PS4 in Monster Hunter's case, they had to recreate a lot of the models for much more detailed positioning and stuff of the monsters. And Pokemon didn't even go that far. Yeah, for a minute, at least. Oh, man, this is funny. I might trim this out later, separately, and, like, upload it independently and just call it the Pokemon rant or something stupid. But, freaking... Pokemon didn't even have that. Since the poly count was exactly the same, even if they extended the polys, let's say they stretched everything and just ran it through a program that increases the size by insert percent here, all they would have to do is redraw the textures at that point, from my basic understanding. And it's just, oh man, I hate it. It's so... Yeah, if you want Dragon Quest and Pokemon, just play Dragon Quest Monsters. There you go. But it's frustrating, because I know for a fact they could outsource if they wanted to, and they clearly don't want to. Yeah, and sometimes it be like that. Oh, jeez, though. And yeah, luckily there are some... It's funny to me. Poly count and rigging isn't all that hard, especially if you already have the models done. It's funny to me that everything that has Pokemon that has not been made by Game Freak in the past 4 years has more character and personality. I don't play a lot of gacha games. Back in 2019. Yeah, nice. I don't play a ton of gacha games, like, at all. I just prefer not to. But I have been putting time into Pokemon Masters, and the depiction of the characters and everything in that is so good. Like, Kay, since it seems like you've read a decent way into them, the way they actually did separate in Pokemon Masters, Crystal and Lyra as two separate characters for Gen 2, and they actually gave Crystal her, the manga personality, which is wild to me. In the world, also Game Freak makes with less effort putting animation. Yeah. Yep. But there's just so many things on top of, and I guess last thing I'll say with Pokemon, and I have a bad habit of starting sentences with that when it's not the last thing. You want to know what the best Pokemon thing is that, like, nobody talks about anymore because the most recent games have been bad except for one, but was actually a remake? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Can we talk about that? Enough funding and team size, they can make good things. Exactly. It's the chef analogy. You could give the world's best chef the best ingredients in the world, but if you only give him 2 minutes to make a dish, it's going to suck. Oof. That one's kind of a hot take. Actually, the gameplay isn't exactly spectacular. That's not what you're playing for those for. I've actually been re-listening this last week to the soundtrack of Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, because I saw a tweet the other day, and I kid you not, this is like one of the few soundtracks I've found that I'll listen to, and I still freaking cry just listening to it. Shorts out the door? Why? Just one Thunderbolt animation, and the door is normally... Yeah. But they just remade the first Mystery Dungeon. You like the Mystery Dungeon gameplay, then the Mystery Dungeon game... Yeah, I agree with that. But I'm hoping, since they remade the first Mystery Dungeon, albeit it does have a couple modern-day gaming things that I don't like, I'm hoping it lets them remake Explorers of Sky, or just Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers DX, or whatever they'd call it. Because if we get that, and it shows the current team, now that Chunsoft is mixed with Spike, how to make a good Mystery Dungeon game, I'll be satisfied only playing that from Pokemon ever again. Seriously. If main Pokemon doesn't do stories anyway, as good as Mystery Dungeon. All right, though. I definitely need to move back on with Dragon Quest. It's kind of hard for me to get in RPGs a lot of the time. I try it out for a while, not actually want to give them a shot. Start my old save file, forget what I did, restart, loops back. Yeah. In which case, if there's one RPG I could recommend to you that typically has a good enough story hook that it's really hard to put down, give Skies of Arcadia a try. Oh, and Black and White. No, Black and White. Holy crap, I do not know why people hate those games. They had actually, like, if you want to look, putting nostalgia aside, from everything included, that is the best Pokemon game, is Black and White. Playing the latest Siren Wonder game, OG Mystery Dungeon, highly recommend it. Guys been waiting for like 20 minutes, seriously. I have a save on Arcadia, I remember still, yeah, see, the story is so good, you'll still remember where you were. I love Skies of Arcadia. Remake when? Because it made people thinking scary. Oh, man. And these are probably the same people who praise the crap out of The Last of Us 2. Oh, boy. Though that is a can of worms for another time. Yeah, I should, There we go. Yeah, for real. I have no idea how to reply to that one, Weasel. Oh, man. Whew, okay. In fact, it's only thanks to you that I was able to escape the fake Dominius household. Yeah, for real. So they've been trying, parts of their games have been passion and love, but it seems like they're just not getting enough time to do well with it and do what they want. Yes. Whew, yeah, they're right, though. I don't want this to time out. That'd be really bad in a cutscene. I don't know what would happen. Where would it log me back in? The throne room is up those stairs on the second floor and straight down the central corridor. Actually, let's, 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'm going to say that out loud so I could know where to clip that and upload all of that independently. Ooh, boy, that's going to max out my CPU. Cough, Sega, cough. Oh, man, right? Look, even if they just port it, give me Skies of Arcadia. Get that sucker off the Dreamcast and GameCube. Throne room is up the stairs on the second floor and straight down the corridor. I'm one step ahead. I'll be one step ahead. Come as soon as possible without any detours. Nah, man. We gonna explore this castle. Anyway, good chat. Yeah. Good chat, chat. That was a weird sentence. Cold reality of Pokemon is the most success was due to its game, not its income. Wildly diverse games, movies, anime, toys, anime, parks, brand. Yep. They throw you outside the doors that triggered the cutscene. Sadly, it'll time you out. Mid-boss fight scenes, they had to redo a fight. Oh, no. Freaking 100 for it. Oof. Yeah, I bought Skies of Arcadia twice on GameCube alone. And I have it on my Dreamcast. I had a caseless copy that I ended up sending to True Blue. And then, yeah, it's probably much more nowadays. The only reason I got it for $60 is because I was at Comic-Con and I saw it at one of the booths. Which they always sell it significantly cheaper at the booths.